Imagine standing at the base of a mountain. Its peak, shrouded in mist, appears impossibly high. But here's the unexpected part. That mountain isn't some distant challenge. It's actually you. The true summit you need to conquer is right here, in your mind. Welcome to the real battle. It's you versus you, overcoming your biggest obstacles. I'm your host, and today, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy, we're embarking on a journey of self-discovery and growth. We face battles every day, but your toughest opponent isn't out there. It's the person looking back at you in the mirror. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, the chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters, so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. But why pay attention to some ancient Greeks and Romans? Well, their wisdom has endured the test of time, guiding both emperors and enslaved people. And today, it's more relevant than ever. In a world filled with constant distractions and instant gratification, the Stoics offer a roadmap to inner peace and true success. Let's consider a modern example. Recall the last time you scrolled through social media, feeling envy at someone else's accomplishments. That's not your real battle. Your true fight is with a voice that says, "You're not good enough." As Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Over the next hour, we will tackle the most significant obstacles standing between you and your best self. We'll delve deep into taming your ego, conquering procrastination, building unshakable discipline, overcoming distractions, breaking bad habits, silencing self-doubt, facing your fears, fueling your body and mind, letting go of toxic influences, pushing beyond your comfort zone. But here's the crucial point. This isn't just another self-help video. We're not here to offer quick fixes or empty promises. This is about real, lasting change. As Musonius Rufus, the Roman Socrates, wisely stated, we should not be learning in order to make speeches, but in order to conduct ourselves properly. Now, you might be thinking, great, another video telling me just to try harder, but that's not what this is about. The Stoics weren't concerned with gritting your teeth and powering through. They focused on understanding yourself, aligning your actions with your values, and finding true fulfillment. Take Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism. After losing everything in a shipwreck, he didn't simply give up. Instead, he viewed it as an opportunity to start fresh and pursue wisdom. That's the kind of resilience and perspective we're aiming for. By the end of this video, you'll possess practical tools to overcome your internal obstacles. You'll understand how to harness the power of your mind, just as Cleanthes, who worked as a water carrier by night to study philosophy by day, harnessed his determination to become one of the great Stoic teachers. But remember, knowledge without action is just philosophy. Real change stems from applying these principles in your daily life. Seneca wisely said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." So, are you ready to prepare? Are you ready to take on your most formidable opponent, yourself? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your journey to becoming the best version of yourself starts right now. Let's begin. Taming the ego. Welcome to our first internal battle. Taming the ego that inner voice telling you you're the best, or perhaps the worst, is a powerful force, but often a misleading one. Let's start with a Stoic quote. You're not your reputation. You're not what other people think of you. You're not even what you think of yourself. Powerful words, but what do they signify in practice? Imagine receiving praise for a job well done. Your ego swells, convincing you that you're invincible. Or picture a moment of failure. Your ego crumbles, certain you're worthless. Both extremes are illusions. The Stoics understood that our egos frequently lead us astray. Epictetus wisely said, "It is impossible to learn that which one thinks one already knows." An inflated ego blinds us to our flaws and hinders our growth. Conversely, a bruised ego can paralyze us with self-doubt. So, how do we tame this beast? Let's break it down. Practice humility. Zeno of Citium taught, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say." Try actively listening the next time you're tempted to boast or defend your ego. You might be surprised by what you discover. Embrace criticism. Instead of perceiving criticism as an attack, view it as free advice. Cleanthes, who was often ridiculed for his humble origins, used this derision as fuel for self-improvement. Separate your actions from your worth. You are not defined by your successes or failures. As Seneca put it, he who boasts of his descent praises the deeds of another. Your actions are opportunities for growth, not definitions of who you are. Practice self-deprecating humor. Laugh at yourself occasionally. It fosters humility and approachability. Even Emperor Marcus Aurelius was known to poke fun at himself in his journals. Focus on progress, not perfection. Musonius Rufus taught, if you accomplish something good, with hard work, the labor passes quickly, but the good endures. If you do something shameful in pursuit of pleasure, the pleasure passes quickly, but the shame endures. Remember, taming your ego isn't about destroying your self-esteem. It's about finding a balance, being confident enough to pursue your goals, yet humble enough to acknowledge your flaws and continue learning. In our modern world, Social media often fuels our egos with likes and followers. Try this exercise. The next time you're about to post something, ask yourself, am I doing this to genuinely share or to feed my ego? This simple pause can be quite eye-opening. Heracles, a lesser-known Stoic, proposed an exercise of expanding circles of concern, starting with yourself, then your family, friends, community, and eventually all humanity. This shift in perspective can help diminish an overinflated ego. As we conclude this chapter, remember, your ego is a tool, not your master. Use it to motivate yourself, but don't let it define you. In the words of Seneca, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. In our next chapter, we'll tackle another formidable foe, procrastination. But I challenge you to catch your ego in action this week. Notice when it flares up and practice one of the discussed techniques. Share your experiences in the comments below. Remember, the battle against your ego is ongoing, but with each small victory, you're one step closer to becoming the master of your mind. Stay strong, stay humble, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Conquering procrastination. In our last chapter, we confronted the ego. Now, we face another formidable adversary, procrastination, that annoying habit of putting off until tomorrow what we know we should do today. Let's begin with a powerful quote from Seneca. While we are postponing, life speeds by. How often have we felt the sting of those words? Procrastination isn't merely about laziness. It's a complex beast often fueled by fear, perfectionism, or overwhelming tasks. The Stoics recognized this struggle millennia ago, and their wisdom can help us conquer it today. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." This reminds us that meaningful work requires time, but it also implies that we must start for anything to grow. So, how do we stop procrastinating and start doing? Let's break it down. Break tasks into smaller steps. Remember, do not be dismayed by the whole of your task. Attend to the day's portion. When a task seems overwhelming, divide it into manageable sections. Start with the hardest task. Epictetus taught, we should discipline ourselves in small things, and from there progress to things of greater value. Try tackling your most challenging task first thing in the morning when your willpower is strongest. Use the 5-minute rule. Commit to working on a task for just 5 minutes. Often, getting started is the hardest part, but once you begin, you'll likely continue. Practice visualizing the process, not just the outcome. Instead of merely imagining the completed project, visualize yourself actively working on it. This mental rehearsal can make starting feel more manageable. Embrace imperfection. Zeno of Citium said, well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing. Remember, done is better than perfect. Now, let's address a modern challenge, digital distraction. Our phones and computers, while useful tools, can be significant enablers of procrastination. Try this Stoic-inspired technique before checking your phone or opening a new browser tab. Pause and ask, is this essential right now? This moment of reflection can disrupt the automatic habit of digital distraction. Hierocles suggested an exercise of examining our day in reverse each evening. Try this. At the end of each day, reflect on what you accomplished and what you put off. Don't judge, simply observe. This practice can increase your awareness of procrastination patterns. Remember, overcoming procrastination isn't about becoming a productivity machine. It's about aligning your actions with your values and goals. Seneca wisely said, life is long if you know how to use it. Here's a challenge for the week ahead. Choose one task you've been putting off. Break it into small steps and commit to working on it for 5 minutes daily. Share your experiences in the comments below. In our next chapter, we'll explore how to build unshakable discipline. But for now, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Stay strong, stay focused, and remember, every small victory over procrastination is a step towards mastering your mind. Building unshakable discipline. We've tackled the ego and confronted procrastination. Now we face perhaps our most crucial challenge yet, building unshakable discipline. Let's begin with a powerful quote from Epictetus. No man is free who is not master of himself. This encapsulates the essence of discipline, the ability to control our actions, thoughts, and emotions. Discipline isn't about punishment or restriction. It's about freedom, the freedom to choose our actions deliberately, rather than being swayed by fleeting desires or fears. The Stoics understood that true power originates from within, from our ability to govern ourselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the cornerstone of Stoic discipline. But how do we build this strength? Let's break it down. Start with small habits. Musonius Rufus taught, habit is a powerful influence. Begin with tiny, manageable habits. It could be making your bed every morning or meditating for 5 minutes daily. Practice mindfulness. Seneca advised, we should every night call ourselves to an account. Take time each day to reflect on your actions. Were they in line with your values and goals? Embrace discomfort. Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Discipline often means doing what's uncomfortable. Embrace the challenge. Focus on what you can control. The Stoics emphasized concentrating on what's within our power. Direct your energy towards your actions and reactions, not on outcomes. Develop a morning routine. Many Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, started their day with reflection and planning. A consistent morning routine can establish the tone for a disciplined day. Now let's address a modern challenge, the constant barrage of notifications and distractions. Try this Stoic-inspired technique. Turn off all notifications for 1 hour daily. Use this time for focused work or reflection. This practice in self-control can strengthen your overall discipline. Heraclitus suggested visualizing expanding circles of concern, starting with ourselves and extending outward. Apply this to discipline. Begin with self-control in small, personal matters, then extend this discipline to your interactions with others, your work, and your community. Remember, building discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about consistent effort and gradual improvement. As Epictetus said, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Here's a challenge for the week ahead. Choose one area of your life where you want to build more discipline. It could be waking up earlier, sticking to a workout routine, or limiting social media use. Don't commit to it for 7 days, no matter how small the action. Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. In our next chapter, we'll explore overcoming distractions and maintaining focus. But for now, remember the words of Seneca: the mind that is anxious about future events is miserable. Stay present, stay disciplined, and trust in the process. As we close this chapter, reflect on this. Every moment of discipline is a vote for the person you want to become. Each small act of self-control is a building block in the foundation of your unshakable discipline. Remember, the path to mastery is paved with small, consistent actions. Overcoming distractions. So far, we've built a foundation of self-awareness, tackled procrastination, and cultivated discipline. Now we face a ubiquitous modern challenge: overcoming distraction. Let's begin with a profound observation from Seneca. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. In our hyper-connected world, this rings truer than ever. Our attention is constantly pulled in multiple directions, fragmenting our focus and diminishing our effectiveness. The Stoics, though they lived in a simpler time, understood the importance of focus. Marcus Aurelius advised, concentrate every minute on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. But how do we achieve this in a world of endless notifications, social media, and information overload? Let's break it down into actionable steps. Create a distraction-free environment. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This might involve turning off notifications, using website blockers, or even adopting a simpler phone. Don't be afraid to seem out of touch if it means reclaiming your attention. Practicing. Epictetus said, we should discipline ourselves in small things, and from there progress to things of greater value. Start by focusing on one task at a time, even for just 15 minutes. Gradually increase this period. Implement the stop and think technique. Before switching tasks or checking your phone, pause and ask, is this necessary right now? This moment of reflection can break the automatic habit of distraction. Schedule distraction time. Seneca advised, all vices creep upon us under the name of virtues. Instead of trying to eliminate distractions entirely, schedule specific times for them. This can make it easier to focus during your work periods. Practice mindfulness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Regular mindfulness practice can strengthen your ability to notice when you're getting distracted and redirect your attention. Now, let's address a specific modern challenge: digital overwhelm. Try this Stoic-inspired technique. Keep a distraction diary for 1 week. Note down every time you get distracted, what distracted you, and what you were supposed to be doing. This self-awareness can be eye-opening and help you identify patterns. Heraclitus suggested visualizing concentric circles of concern, with ourselves at the center. Apply this to your attention. What deserves to be in your inner circle of focus? What can be relegated to the outer circles? Remember, overcoming distractions isn't about achieving perfect focus all the time. It's about becoming more intentional with your attention. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Here's a challenge for the week ahead. Choose 1 hour each day to be completely distraction-free. Use this time for deep work, reflection, or connecting with loved ones. Share your experiences in the comments below. In our next chapter, we'll explore how to break bad habits. But for now, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. As we close this chapter, reflect on this. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Where you place it determines the shape of your life. By mastering your focus, you're not just becoming more productive, you're reclaiming your life. Stay focused, stay present, and remember, every moment of intentional focus is a step towards mastery of your mind and life. Breaking bad habits, we have navigated the landscapes of self-awareness, procrastination, discipline, and focus. Now we face a challenge that touches every aspect of our lives: breaking bad habits. Let's begin with a powerful proverb: habits are first cobwebs, then cables. This vivid imagery reminds us that habits, whether good or bad, strengthen over time. The key is to recognize and address them early. The Stoics understood that our habitual actions shape our character. As Will Durant, though not a Stoic himself, whose influence on Stoicism is undeniable, famously said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. So, how do we break the chains of bad habits and forge new, positive ones? Let's break it down. Identify the trigger. Marcus Aurelius advised, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Recognize what triggers your bad habits. Replace, don't just remove. Aristotle wisely noted, nature abhors a vacuum. Don't simply try to stop a bad habit. Replace it with a positive one. Practice self-compassion. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Be patient with yourself. Changing habits takes time. Visualize success. Regularly visualize yourself successfully overcoming your bad habit. Create accountability. Seneca wrote extensively to his friend Lucilius about self-improvement. Find an accountability partner or share your goals with someone you trust. Now, let's address a modern challenge: digital habits. Many of us struggle with excessive screen time or social media use. Try this Stoic-inspired technique for 1 week. Before engaging in any digital activity, pause and ask, is this aligning with my values and goals? This moment of reflection can help break automatic digital habits. Heraclitus suggested an exercise of examining our roles and responsibilities. Apply this to your habits. How do your current habits align with your roles as a friend, family member, professional, and citizen? This perspective can motivate change. Remember, breaking bad habits isn't about achieving perfection. It's about progress and continuous improvement. As Epictetus said, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Here's a challenge for the week ahead. Choose one bad habit you want to break. Identify its trigger. Decide on a positive replacement and commit to this change for 7 days. Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. In our next chapter, we'll explore how to silence self. But for now, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. As we close this chapter, reflect on this. Every time you choose a new positive action over a bad habit, you vote for the person you want to become. You're sculpting your character, one choice at a time. Remember, the power to change your habits lies within you. Silencing self-doubt. Previously, we've conquered bad habits, and now we face perhaps our most insidious enemy. Self-doubt, that nagging, the voice that whispers, you're not good enough, you can't do it, or who do you think you are? Let's begin with a powerful quote from Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This reminds us that self-doubt is not an external force, but an internal one that we have the power to control. The Stoics understood that our judgments about ourselves often cause more suffering than external events. As Epictetus said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. So how do we silence these disturbing views of self-doubt? Let's break it down. Recognize self-doubt for what it is. Seneca advised, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. When self-doubt arises, pause and ask, is this doubt based on fact or fear? Practice self-compassion. Heraclitus taught about expanding circles of concern with ourselves at the center. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a good friend facing doubt. Focus on what you can control. Epictetus emphasized, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Focus on your efforts, not outcomes. Use negative visualization. Paradoxically, imagining the worst can help silence doubt. As Seneca suggested, he who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man. Take action despite doubt. Plato said, for a man to conquer himself is the first and noblest of all victories. Small actions in the face of doubt build confidence over time. Now, let's address a modern challenge: social media comparison. Try this Stoic-inspired technique for 1 week before checking social media. Remind yourself, I'm seeing others' highlight reels, not there behind the scenes. This perspective can help reduce doubt-inducing comparisons. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, taught about living in agreement with nature. Apply this to self-doubt. Is your doubt in alignment with your true nature and potential? Or is it a learned response based on fear? Remember, silencing self-doubt isn't about never feeling uncertain. It's about not letting that uncertainty paralyze you. As Marcus Aurelius said, our life is what our thoughts make it. Here's a challenge for the week ahead. Write down each time you feel self-doubt. Write a compassionate, rational response to that doubt. Share your insights and experiences in the comments below. In our next chapter, we'll explore how to face our fears. But for now, remember the words of Epictetus: he who is not happy with little will never be happy with much. As we close this chapter, reflect on this. Every time you push through self-doubt, you build a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. You're proving that you are indeed capable, worthy, and strong. Remember, the voice of self-doubt may be loud, but your inner strength is louder. Facing your fears now, we will discuss one of life's most significant challenges: our fears. Fear can paralyze us from living fully and pursuing our dreams. Let's start with a powerful quote from Seneca. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This reminds us that our fears are often even more daunting in our minds than in actual experience. The Stoics understood that fear is a natural human emotion, but also knew it shouldn't control our actions. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So how do we face our fears and move forward? Let's break it down. Identify your fears. Marcus Aurelius advised, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Name your fears to reduce their power. Use negative visualization. Paradoxically, imagining the worst can help alleviate fear. As Seneca suggested, he who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man. Focus on what you can control. Epictetus emphasized, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Focus on your actions, not outcomes. Practice gradual exposure. Musonius Rufus taught, we should discipline ourselves in small things, and from there progress to things of greater value. Start with small steps to face your fears. Reframe fear as excitement. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, believed in living in harmony with nature. Recognize fear as a natural response and channel it into positive energy. Now, let's address a modern challenge: fear of failure in a social media age. Try this Stoic-inspired technique for 1 week whenever you're about to avoid something due to fear of failure. Pause and ask, what's the worst that could happen, and could I handle it? This realistic assessment often reveals our fears as manageable. Hierocles suggested expanding circles of concern. Apply this to your fears. How do your fears impact not just you but your family, community, and humanity? This broader perspective can motivate action despite fear. Remember, facing your fears isn't about becoming fearless. It's about acting with courage despite fear. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Here's a challenge for the week ahead. Choose one fear you want to face. Break it down into small, manageable steps and commit to taking one step each day. Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Our next chapter will explore how our food impacts our mental state. But for now, remember the words of Seneca. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. From now on, every time you face a fear, you're expanding your comfort zone and proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you imagined. You're not just overcoming fear, you're building courage. Remember, on the other side of fear lies growth and opportunity. Fueling your body and mind, we've faced our fears, and now we focus on an often overlooked aspect of our mental and physical well-being: the food we consume. Let's begin with an old saying. The human being is nourished by food in 2 ways. One is physical, the other is spiritual. This reminds us that what we eat affects our bodies, minds, and spirits. While the ancient Stoics couldn't access modern nutritional science, they understood the importance of moderation and mindful eating. Epictetus advised, no man is free who is not master of himself. This applies not just to our thoughts and actions, but also to our eating habits. So, how do we approach our diet with Stoic wisdom? Let's break it down. Practice mindful eating. Remember, when you eat, eat slowly. Pay attention to your food, its taste, texture, and how it makes you feel. Choose quality over quantity. Seneca said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Apply this to your food choices. Understand food's purpose. Remember, food should be used for nourishment, not solely for pleasure. While enjoyment is fine, recall that food's primary objective is to fuel your body. Practice occasional abstinence. The Stoics often practiced voluntary discomfort, including fasting. This can help you appreciate food more and strengthen your self-control. Be grateful for your food. Epictetus advised, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Express gratitude for your meals. Now let's address a modern challenge: the abundance of processed and junk food. Try this Stoic-inspired technique for 1 week before eating anything. Ask yourself, is this nourishing my body, or just satisfying a craving? This pause can help you make more mindful food choices. Heracles suggested expanding circles of concern. Apply this to your diet. How do your food choices impact not just you, but your family, your community, and the environment? Remember, Improving your diet isn't about achieving perfection. It's about making consistent, mindful choices. Here's a challenge for the week ahead. Choose one unhealthy eating habit you want to change. It could be snacking late at night, drinking too much soda, or eating too fast. Commit to changing this habit for 7 days. Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. In the next part, we will explore letting go of toxic relationships and memories. But for now, remember the words of Epictetus: it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. From now on, every time you choose a nourishing meal over an unhealthy option, you're not just feeding your body, you're nurturing your mind and spirit. You're practicing self-respect and self-care in a very tangible way. Stay mindful, stay nourished, and remember, you have the power to choose what you consume. Make choices that serve your highest good. Letting go of toxic influence. We've already learned how to nourish our bodies with mindful eating. Now we turn to nourishing our souls by addressing toxic relationships and memories. Let's begin with a powerful quote from Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This reminds us that while we can't control others or change the past, we have power over our responses and the meaning we assign to our experiences. The Stoics understood that our social connections and memories significantly impact our well-being. As Marcus Aurelius advised, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. So how do we navigate toxic relationships and let go of painful memories? Let's break it down. Recognize toxic patterns. Seneca said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Be honest about which relationships drain you and which uplift you. Set healthy boundaries. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Setting boundaries may upset others, but it's crucial for your well-being. Practice forgiveness. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Forgiveness is more about freeing yourself than pardoning others. Reframe painful memories. Epictetus advised, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. Try to find lessons or growth in difficult experiences. Now, let's address a modern challenge: digital connections and social media. Try this Stoic technique for 1 week before engaging with any digital connection. Ask yourself, does this relationship or interaction add value to my life? This reflection can help you curate more positive digital experiences, Heracles suggested. Visualizing expanding circles of concern. Apply this to your relationships. How do your closest connections impact your wider social circles and community? This perspective can motivate you to cultivate healthier relationships. Remember, addressing toxic relationships and memories isn't about never experiencing conflict or pain. It's about responding to these challenges in a way that aligns with your values and promotes growth. Here's a challenge for the week ahead. Choose one toxic relationship or painful memory you want to address. Write down 3 specific actions to set boundaries, practice forgiveness, or reframe the situation. Share your insights and experiences in the comments below. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. From now on, I hope you're reclaiming your power. Whenever you set a healthy boundary or reframe a painful memory, you're choosing growth over comfort, wisdom over familiarity. Stay strong, stay true to yourself, and remember, you can choose the energy you allow in your life. Choose wisely. Pushing beyond your comfort zone, we've journeyed through many challenges, and now face the most transformative. Pushing beyond our comfort zone. Let's begin with a powerful quote from Seneca. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. This encapsulates the essence of Stoicism. Remember, stepping out of our comfort zone is about daring to grow. The Stoics understood that actual growth and virtue come from facing challenges. There's a famous saying, move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new. So, how do we push beyond our comfort zones and embrace growth? Let's break it down. Embrace discomfort. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Growth often means doing things that feel uncomfortable or unfamiliar. Start small. Musonius Rufus advised, we should discipline ourselves in small things, and from there progress to things of greater value. Begin with small steps outside your comfort zone. Reframe challenges as opportunities. Marcus Aurelius suggested, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. See obstacles as chances for growth. Practice voluntary discomfort. The Stoics often deliberately placed themselves in challenging situations. Try small acts of voluntary discomfort to build resilience. Focus on the process, not the outcome. Epictetus reminded us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Concentrate on the growth that comes from pushing your boundaries, regardless of the result. Now let's address a modern challenge, the comfort of routine in our digital age. Try this Stoic-inspired technique for 1 week. Commit to doing one new thing each day, no matter how small. It could be trying a new food, taking a different route to work, or learning a new skill online. Hierocles suggested expanding circles of concern. Apply this to pushing your boundaries. How might stepping out of your comfort zone not only benefit you, but also your family, community, and even humanity? Remember, pushing beyond your comfort zone isn't about constant stress or recklessness. It's about gradual, intentional growth. As Seneca said, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Here's a final challenge. Choose one significant way you want to step out of your comfort zone in the coming month. Break it down into weekly goals and commit to taking action. Share your plans and progress in the comments below as we conclude our journey. Remember, the one thing you learn is when you can step out of your comfort zone and be uncomfortable. You see what you're made of and who you are. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you expand your capabilities and understanding of yourself. Reflect on this. The greatest growth often lies just beyond the boundaries of your comfort. By daring to push these boundaries, you're not just changing yourself, but your world. Thank you for joining me on this Stoic journey of self-improvement. Remember, the real battle you versus you is ongoing, but with the wisdom of the Stoics and the strength you've cultivated, you're well equipped to face any challenge. Stay curious, stay brave, and keep growing. The best version of yourself is always one step beyond your comfort zone. Embrace the journey. We've reached the end of our exploration. But remember, this is just the beginning of your Stoic journey. As Epictetus wisely said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Your task now is to apply these Stoic principles in your daily life. Remember, progress is often slow and steady. Be patient with yourself, but remain committed to growth. In every challenge, every setback, and every triumph, you have the opportunity to practice Stoicism. As we conclude, I challenge you to choose one principle from our journey and fully commit to embodying it this week. Please share your experiences and insights with our community. Remember, the real battle you versus you is lifelong, but with each small victory, you're becoming the best version of yourself. Stay strong, stay wise, and keep growing. Your Stoic journey has only just begun. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. Don't forget to hit the bell icon button.